Hey, what is up guys, this is Cobb. 21st of August, massive new collaboration event coming to Raid Shadow Legends, man. This is huge. This is enormous, man. Quick breakdown of the points. We'll get into all of these in a little bit more depth in a sec. 6 new legendary champions dropping. A daily login champion chase, meaning a free login reward legendary champion for everybody, new players and existing players. Interesting stuff. I hope that it's a decent one. We'll get into that when we get to it. Event dungeon with a new chronophage gear set. Okay, the event dungeon reopening just like a few weeks, it feels like anyway, just a few weeks after the Chaos Awakes event dungeon went and closed. New gear set, very interesting. 8 new event relics, a fragment summon event. Interesting, so not a complete fusion like we were expecting, but a fragment summon event coming up, I guess, very, very soon in the next few days, and various of the tournaments, events, and activities. This is massive, man. So I'm opening up the Barbarians right here. This kind of event reminds me of the scale of like the Barbarian collaboration event that we had with Thor and Freya and Odin and all of that. Also reminds me a lot of the Monster Hunter event as well, where we got some of the best legendary champions in the game, or at least, you know, in the form of Archer Queen, one of the Monster Hunter event sort of crossover collaboration champions. She was excellent champion. An event of that kind of scale is what we're looking at here, man. It's going to be big. Before we get into all of that in a moment, break it down just a little bit more. If you're looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, then go ahead and use the beginner promo link down below this video to create that new Raid account for all of the free stuff that you see on screen right now. Free starter legendary champion with Basilius Varanus, free epic champions as well as you level up your account, man. All you got to do is create that new account on laptop or PC using the beginner promo link. That is down below this video, man. Okay, back to the news, because, oh my god. Okay, so 6 new legendary champions. We can assume that you're going to be getting your hands on these in a similar way to how we got our hands on the likes of Thor and Freya and stuff like that. I'd imagine, of course, one of these is going to be the new login reward legendary champion. As to who the hell that's going to be remains to be seen. There are rumors afoot online as to what this collaboration might be that I won't touch on, frankly, just in case they're not true. But we're thinking things like a Deck of Fate event, for example, pulling maybe like 35 or 40-ish Immortal Soulstones to get your hands on a guaranteed legendary. That kind of thing, right? Maybe a tournament, in which case, you know, that's going to suck for a lot of people, but maybe a tournament, champ training tournament, things like that. Finish first place, get yourself a guaranteed legendary champion. It's going to be that those kind of events for guaranteed Legos. And so it is going to be interesting to see what kind of events those are. 6 new legendary champions. That's going to be a hell of a lot of events and tournaments, and there'll probably be like 15 X's on shard events and stuff like that for getting our hands on these legendary champions. Almost definitely, at least one of them is going to be a Void legendary as well, which means save up your bloody Void shards, because, you know, we're probably going to be looking at like like 10x or 15x chance, putting the Void Legendary from Void Shards, that kind of thing, you know. Hoard your resources, as always, as if everybody hasn't already just spent their resources on the recent Crocad and Packmaster events, you know, but, well, that is what it is. As for the daily login champion chase, now, I'm a little bit nervous about this one. When it comes to daily login reward champions recently, I don't know, dude. I haven't really been that impressed. I know Skeletor has some believers, but I don't know, bro. We had Adeline not too long ago as well. Not a big fan of her. I slept on Loki for the longest time, but, you know, like, Loki actually turned out to be pretty good, especially in the long run. Yeah. Just remains to be seen what the quality of this is actually going to be like. Of course, we had like Alice the Wanderer somewhat recently as well, and she's been like a fantastic, fantastic servant to many, many people's accounts. And so, yeah, one thing that you do have to bear in mind when it comes to judging new login reward legendary champion is that you're going to get your hands on a free 5-star soul for this champion. As long as you just play the game and just participate in the chase, so you just log in every day and just do like the bare minimum objectives. And so on like a new raid account, it kind of doesn't matter if the champion's a little bit weak, unless it's Skeletor, in which case I just never build Skeletor no matter what, ever, under any circumstances, even on a brand new raid account. But that's just me, you know. Piece of crap. But if it's like any kind of just general damage dealer of any description, even like Lemonisi, for example, who's like the most recent login reward legendary, it's like you get a 5-star soul for a damage dealer. That's a crap load of extra crit damage, a crap load of extra accuracy stats. it's very, very powerful on a new account almost no matter what. And so that's always going to be something to look forward to. As for the event dungeon with a new chronophage gear set, this is crazy, dude. So the event dungeon opening up again so bloody soon. I mean, it's also basically a surefire thing that the event dungeon is going to reopen, and the boss in the event dungeon is probably going to be whatever the Void Legendary is going to be for this new event, like for this new, for this new massive event chain that's fit to launch. And so, who the hell that's going to be? Anybody's guess. What the mechanics are going to look like? No idea. I guess I'll be making some event dungeon guides pretty soon, because the necrophage set sounds crazy as hell. Wait a minute, not necrophage, chronophage. The chronophage set is going to be the new artifact set. We can imagine that it's going to be a 9-piece set. That's kind of surefire, like it's not guaranteed. On average, the 9-piece sets inside of Raid Shadow Legends are just leaps and bounds ahead of most of the other 2- and 4-piece sets inside of the game, and so it's almost definitely going to be very, very powerful. As to what it's going to do, chronophage, what are we talking about, man? Chrono meaning time, and phage meaning eat or eater. Time eater. You know, time consumer, time nibbler. My mind jumps instantly to things like 10-meter fill and like extra 10 mechanics, but we've already got that in the game, of course, with stuff like Relentless. Maybe it's like a Relentless set on steroids, getting all kinds of extra turns. It could be something that affects like enemies on the other side of the field, right? Where you slow down enemy 10-meter or negate their 10-meter effects or just steal their 10-meter boost effects. Oh my god, I'm terrified by those ideas. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that's not it. I guess that we'll find out very, very soon, though, just how powerful this chronophage set is gonna be. Either way, very, very exciting that the event dungeon is opening up again so soon. Next up, new event relics. So 8 new event relics arriving inside of the game. What does this actually mean? It's got a bit more ramifications than you might think when it comes to relic crafting. If we go into our inventory, we've of course got like the Alice's Adventure way of doing relics. When relics were first introduced, this is what Raid did. They introduced 2 new relics to the game, both of which were quite solid. People were really just after the cat's gaze, you know? So you were very, very focused on just getting one relic from Alice's Adventure because it was so bloody good. Scrolling down a bit though, that's not the way they handled things with Chaos Awakes, which is above my head right now, where we had like a whole slew of new relics, including some really crappy ones, right? I feel like a lot of these were just kind of filler relics, to be honest. Were not that exciting, really. You know, I mean, of course, minus like mythical ones and stuff like that, of course. But when you're adding like rare and epic relics to the game that just aren't really that great, I don't know, man. It just bloats out the relic pool a little bit and just adds a lot of what are essentially relic chickens to the game for ranking of relics in future and just ranking of better relics up as high as you want to go. I personally stop at like plus 12 and just leave it there. Can't bother to max rank these things. And so is it good or bad that they're adding 8 new event relics, like a whole bunch of new relics to the game? Oh, that's up for you to decide, I suppose. I think I'd prefer if they just added like 2 or 3 new relics and just made them all very, very good. And then give you like options like heroes paths and stuff where you could go down one branch to get one relic or another branch to get another, and you can make some choices about which ones you want to prioritize. I think I prefer that over just adding a whole bunch, but there you go. Next up, Fragment Summon Event. Wow, dude. This is surprising. Okay. The Crocad fusion that we just had inside of this game was also a fragment event. Having 2 of these back to back, very, very rare. Very, very unusual, man. Fragment summon events, we shouldn't be too unhappy about them because they're a lot easier to do in general than like a mixed fusion, for example, where there's a lot of champion training involved and using up a lot of potions to boost up your champions and stuff like that. And it's not a problem for me on the main account, and I am ready to do the fusion kind of no matter what on my free-to-play account. But yeah, it's very, very strange. Turns out we're not going to need any potions in our stockpile at all to deal with the upcoming Fragment Summon. I will say be very, very careful with the ongoing Ancient Shard event that's giving extra legendaries. Make sure that you're going into the upcoming Fusion, or I guess Fragment Summon event now, with at least 50 Ancient Shards in the stockpile. Why? Towards the end of that Fragment Summon event, almost definitely going to be a Champion Chase tournament with a 2x event on Ancient Shards. So just be bloody ready for that, okay? I've dropped that warning in like multiple videos at this point, so hopefully people aren't going crazy and just bottoming out on their Ancient Shards before the Summon event even starts. Next up, we've got various other tournaments. events and activities, which is probably going to mean things like event dungeon tournaments. As for activity, I mean, Deck of Fate feels like it's on the cards in terms of activities. There's almost always a Deck of Fate in events like this that give a guaranteed legendary, usually for pulling like, I don't know, is it like 16 sacred shards or something like that? Maybe like 16 sacred shards, or usually like 35 plus immortal soulstones to get through Deck of Fates like that. So you can try and stockpile those supplies as well if you can, which I know is easier said than done, but you know, the best I can do is just warn you about those events. As for things like the tournaments, I gotta imagine that there's going to be some kind of tournament, either champion... No, it's very unlikely that it's a champion chase. I almost want to say I'm expecting some kind of champion training tournament to get your hands on one of these legendaries. I'm going to go ahead and call it right now, man. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. And that's the news, and that's the infographic. Feel free to speculate, by the way, what this collaboration event is going to be all about down below in the comments, man. I'd love to read what you guys are thinking. And that's the news, man. Going to catch all of you guys just a tad bit later, right after I remind you all about the beginner promo link that is down below this video at the top of the description box. Just the best beginner promo link on to kickstart a new raid account, man, in 2025. Thanks for stopping by. And I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man.